Sports Talk, 1080 The Team's Tuck and O'Neill. I'm Jerry O'Neill, along with Mike Tuck. You know a good barber?
Why?
I'm a month overdue on getting a haircut.
Your hair is getting a little long.
I keep asking my wife, honey, can I get my hair cut? You know, the one thing we're going to talk about, one of the things I'm most passionate about in this free agency window for the NBA, it's not the Orlando Magic, it's the Dwight Howard story. And I have to admit, you know, I went through a number of emotions, most of them negative toward Dwight when he left the Orlando Magic. But I'm having a hard time understanding some of the things that are going on around his move to Houston.
You're being awful defensive about a guy that you probably shouldn't like, and in fact, you should be leading the parade against him.
Mike, I understand fans and their overreaction about Howard's play in Los Angeles.
Overreaction.
What I don't understand are the critics that come from his peers. Guys like Jeff Van Gundy, Charles Barkley. There's a long list of either players, former players, coaches who act as though and say out loud, Dwight can't handle the big lights of Los Angeles. And I think that is asinine.
You think it's crazy that his peers are evaluating Dwight Howard? Wouldn't his peers be the most well-informed? Wouldn't they be the ones that have the best idea?
Yeah, you think so.
What's going on in that noggin of Dwight Howard?
Let me ask you something. What I'm asking critics of those in the basketball world to have some perspective on what went down in the 1 year that Dwight Howard played in L.A. You know it better than most. All the injuries, the chemistry issue, the coaching fire, more injuries on top of that, the personalities, whether it's Kobe or Paul Gasol, Mike D'Antoni, Steve Nash, and then the blame game that Dwight felt he was getting most of the blame for what was a very dismal basketball season. In a one and done out there, I don't think you can grade Dwight Howard, and I sure don't think you could come to any conclusion that he feared the big city of Los Angeles.
Well, people are going to come to whatever conclusion they want to. The team clearly underperformed based on what the expectations were at the start of the season. Dwight Howard never seemed to really want to go there. Remember, he wanted to go to Brooklyn the entire time, and L.A. was clearly the second choice, and some people argued it wasn't the second choice. Some people thought Houston back a year ago was the second choice. They just couldn't work a deal out with Orlando. I think Dwight Howard he says he's betting $30 million on winning. I think he just chose a situation where he'll be happier. And maybe that has to do with less attention. Maybe that has to do with less pressure. Maybe that has to do with him being the elder statesman on a young basketball team where he doesn't have to take anybody's flack.
From having earned and being regarded as one of the marquee players on the planet, he has fallen to a point where only he can resurrect the damage that he's done to himself.
I think most people still look at him as a top 10, top 15 player at worst in the entire league, and very easily, if he's healthy, we've seen what he can do. He can climb back up in the top 5 like that, but the idea of trying to gain national acceptance like it was for LeBron James, it is now for guys like Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul, Dwight Howard. They will not be evaluated on a level where Dwayne Wade and Kobe and LeBron are unless they win. Dirk Nowitzki went through it, and he finally got that championship. It'll be the same thing for Dwight.
Tuck and O'Neill, weekday afternoons 3 to 7 on Sports Talk 1080 The Team.